What's up guys, today is the long-awaited video, the only 3 chest exercises y'all need to grow an absolute shelf of a chest. We're here at LA Fitness here in Streamwood, back in the suburbs of Chicago, and we're gonna be hitting this, so let's get right into it. So as you may expect for a chest exercise, we're looking for a bench, but before I actually get to the exercise, let's talk about the different ways to hit different parts of your chest. Essentially, there's 3 different parts of your chest. There's the upper chest, or clavicular head, there's the mid chest, as well as the lower chest, or the costal head of your chest. It's been shown that the mid chest and lower chest, they're kind of both well biased in flat types of presses, so it's kind of a gray area whether you actually need a technical lower focused chest exercise. However, when it comes to the clavicular head or your upper chest, you definitely want to do some sort of like dedicated exercise for the upper chest. This is kind of how I see it, especially considering upper chest is usually a less developed part of the chest compared to the different 2 other regions. So with that in mind, let's move to the first exercise. So, the first exercise on my list is, of course, the incline dumbbell bench press. My favorite chest exercise ever. Because it's an incline press, we're gonna be focusing on the clavicular head of your chest, which is gonna be your upper chest portion. In general, like I mentioned earlier, the upper chest is pretty much the most underdeveloped part of the chest for most individuals, especially as early on as you're getting into training. And the importance of the upper chest, it gives you that like shelf appearance, right? So can't really see it right here, but maybe I'll do B-roll later, where from the side, if you have a well-developed upper chest, you're gonna be looking more juicy. And then from the front angle, it kind of gives you more shape in your chest. Now in terms of bench angle, I think 30 degrees is a good sweet spot, which is generally 2 notches on the bench. So we come over here, if notch 1's flat, the one in between is generally going to be 15 degrees. After that, it's going to be 30 degrees. It's been shown to bias the upper chest. You don't need a super high bench angle. All you really need is 15 and 30 degrees. However, factoring in that most people are going to be more comfortable benching with a bit of an arch for stability, I consider 30 degrees pretty much equivalent to benching 15 degrees, and then 45 degrees is going to be equivalent to most people benching at 30 degrees. Of course, the lower the bench angle, the more weight you're generally going to be able to push, and that's essentially why I like to stick to 30 degrees rather than 45 degrees. But keep in mind, beyond 45 degrees, you're gonna be biasing more of your front delts. There's no reason to have the bench angle super high up. Keep around to the 15 to 45 degree mark, and it'll be pretty good. So that's the first exercise. Let's move on to the second one. Ooh. The second chest exercise I recommend is machine pec deck. The difference between a press compared to something like this with a pec deck fly, is with a pec deck fly, you're training your chest with more arm adduction. Essentially, you're able to get a better contraction on your chest because, of course, instead of pressing like this, you're bringing your arms together across your body. I would recommend in a very, very bare bones chest workout, you want to have 1 press and 1 fly, okay? The press is predominantly for you to easily apply progressive overload and go heavier, focusing in that stretch position, while the fly is gonna be focusing more in a shortened position since you're able to get better arm adduction. Now there's alternatives if you don't have a pec deck machine. You can do, let's say, cable flies, and with that, of course, you can kind of manipulate the angle a little bit better. But the reason why I chose the pec deck machine is because it's very stable, right? It's a machine pretty much able to kind of just freely do the motion without having to worry about kind of stabilizing your core, unlike in, let's say, like a cable fly. And the reason why stability is important is generally the more stable an exercise, the better you're able to focus specifically on the movement as opposed to, again, trying to like stabilize yourself. And the idea is from a hypertrophy perspective, you're able to get more motor unit recruitment with being more stable and thus build more muscle. Now, if you're finding this confusing and you're like, Tyler, I just want, everything laid out to me. I want to take the guesswork out of getting to my fitness goals, and I highly recommend you apply to my exclusive one-on-one fitness coaching program. And pretty much, I'll literally guide you to your fitness goals. So if you're interested in that, apply in the link in the description. Let's get it. So that's the second exercise, pec deck flies. Let's move on to the third and final exercise. You may have guessed it will be on this list. Sweet. Thank you,
That's
bro.
all you.
Appreciate it. It's kind of weak today. I was debating on including this exercise, but the third barbell exercise I want to talk about is the barbell bench press. Not because it is the best chest exercise for good range of motion or it's the best exercise for hypertrophy in general. I essentially consider the barbell bench press as like your main strength-based exercise. You're able to load it heavier than pretty much any other exercise you're gonna be dealing with. There is a inherent benefit when it comes to enjoying an exercise you do, because it's a sense of pride, right? A lot of people are like, oh, what's your bench? That sort of thing. And when you're in a phase where you're lifting for a long period of time, things ultimately get boring. So exercise enjoyment plays a very important role in keeping you consistent over the long term. I think barbell exercise nowadays get a lot of hate because, you know, it's not as optimal because of the range of motion and everything, but you're still getting a pretty good stretch on your chest. And admittedly, this was like the first time I barbell benched in like 2 months. So I think I did okay. And those were the only 3 chest exercises you need to actually grow a full, well-rounded 3D shelf of a chest. Hit the like button if you want to see more content just like this and subscribe to level up your physique.